Hello and welcome to the Mixtape Podcast. I am your host, Mark, and every week we'll take a deep dive into my guests' inspirations and influences by asking them to make up an imaginary 6-track mixtape. There are over 120 archive episodes. The mixtapepodcast.com is your one-stop shop for all of those episodes, my YouTube channel, and it'd be great to catch up with you on social media as well. Don't forget, if you enjoy this episode, to give us a like, a share, or a follow wherever you listen to your podcasts. And I hope you enjoy this week's episode. Hello and welcome to today's mixtape for Radio Fremantle and the mixtapepodcast.com. Joining me today for the second time, it's Danny from the Coronas. How are you, mate?
I'm great, Mark. How are you, bud?
Brilliant. Thanks for coming on again. I really appreciate it and sending me through your answers, your mixtape questions in advance. Always very helpful. So as we were talking about, obviously you're coming to Australia. That's the reason why we're here later on this year. But as we were talking about just then before we started, massive weekend for you. We're recording this the day before Glastonbury, and you're playing the festival this weekend, right?
Yeah, we can't wait. I've never been before and never even been as a punter, and it's definitely a bucket list gig for bands, of course. So we're absolutely buzzing. The other thing is we've got a really big show in Cork tomorrow night as well. So we're on Saturday in Glastonbury, and the marquee, the big show we're doing in Cork is like one of our big gigs of the summer as well. So it's going to be a great weekend. So we're going to Cork tomorrow to play this big show. And then we'll fly straight from there over to Bristol Saturday morning and straight onto the festival. And then we're going to stay for the weekend and hang around Sunday and just have some fun. Yeah, I'm really buzzing. I'm really excited. You got me on an extra good day. Yeah. Have you ever been before?
Yeah. No, I've never been, mate. That's on my bucket list. I never got the chance. When I lived in the UK, the V Festival was like on my doorstep. So I went to that every year pretty much from like mid-90s till I came to live in Australia. But I always had Glastonbury in mind and I've never got there. Now I live over here. It's like super unlikely, but one day maybe, hopefully, fingers crossed.
You never know. You never know. Listen, you guys have some good festivals in Australia too, so there's plenty to do.
For sure. What stage are you playing, mate?
We're playing a stage called the acoustic stage now. I know that sounds small, but it's actually a big 8,000 capacity tent. It's in the top few stages. Yeah, we're delighted on Saturday evening. Fingers crossed we get a good crowd. And there's always that thing with a festival. You don't have a sound check. There's always just that little bit more tension. You're setting up the gear at the side of the stage and got just loading. And it's a shorter set. But I love that. I love all that sort of little bit of tension, and it creates an extra bit of nerves. And then you have just the reaction from festival crowds are just on a different sort of buzz, I think, as well than your own headline shows. And there's no easing into it. You just go straight in and it's bang. Play the hits, as they say.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Yeah. Anyone you're looking forward to catching yourself?
Yeah, the lineup is great. I've already downloaded an app and I'm starting to look at all the different bands that are playing. But like even there's the Scripter on Saturday, another great Irish band who are friends of ours, and Kneecap, of course, and Neil Young is headline Saturday night, which should be good fun. And then Sunday, there's loads of bands like down the bill, like just I love that band, and they're on random little stages, and I think I saw Tom Odell, and there's all these just acts that you go, oh, wow, they're playing as well. And so listen, it's going to be a lot of fun. As I say, we're going to hang around for the weekend. And to be honest with you, Noxie, our bass player, is the one that chooses our usual playlists when we're on tour or whatever. So I imagine he'll actually go, no, we're going to see this band. I'd be just like, yeah, whatever, I'm happy to see whatever. But he's the one that leads us. And he'll be like, no, we're going to see this band at 3:00. We're going to see this band at 5:00. We're going to see this band next. So I imagine I'll just be a sheep following. In fairness, I trust his decisions. I remember when back in the day we played we actually played in V Festival before as well. It's a great festival. We played in Lollapalooza in Chicago, and it was amazing. And he told me, oh, there's this girl band that we're going to go see called Haim, and they hadn't even got their first album out or anything. And we went down to see them. There was probably about 1,000 people at their set, and it was just amazing. And then to see their careers take off over the next few years, and now they're collaborating with Taylor Swift and the National, and they're like a really big band. I trust Noxie to lead us.
Fantastic. I had a similar situation. Me and my partner went to a festival down in Southwest WA just at the end of summer here called Nanup Festival, amazing festival. And I was interviewing bands and recording live sessions while I was there. But I had a spreadsheet of like where we're going. This is where we're going to
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
And she was just like, yeah,
Well,
I'm
that's
just
it.
along for the ride, mate. Yeah, like, this is where we're going, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, amazing. I'll give you a Glastonbury tip if you're not familiar with an artist called Beans on Toast. He plays there every
Oh
year.
yeah,
He's amazing. He was a guest on the show a
yeah.
few months ago, and he plays there every year. He's a slightly lighter Billy Bragg. He's a bit
Okay,
more sort of
yeah,
comedy, light-hearted, sort of protesty, folky singer-songwriter. He's amazing, so good, and he's an
yeah,
Essex boy as
yeah.
well. He talks exactly like
Yeah.
me.
Nice. I've heard the name for sure. I've definitely heard Beans and Toast. So someone else was
Yeah.
telling me a bit about him. Yeah, that. Thank you for that. I'll
You
add it
get
to
the
the list.
opportunity, check him out, mate. All
Yeah.
right, where are we with the questions? Tell you one thing that has changed since I spoke to you last. I have to wear glasses all the time now, and I have to print the interview notes out in big print so I can read it properly. That's
No,
changed since we
that,
chatted last time. All right.
that's okay.
Um,
Nothing wrong with that,
so
man.
what I do now is I've got a Patreon, and when I've got guests coming on, I sometimes put it out there on the Patreon to the members to submit a question. This one
Cool.
was a bit last minute, but my partner, Cara, is a patron, and
Oh, nice.
she had a question, and she wanted to know, because she's from, I don't know if you remember, we spoke about it before, she's
Yeah.
from Wicklow. She wanted to
Yeah.
know, what is your favourite venue in Ireland and why?
Honestly, the place we're playing tomorrow night in Cork is right up there. It's probably my favorite. It's definitely my favorite summer gig for us. It's a 5,000 capacity tent, but it feels even bigger. But in the same way, it's intimate as well. It's just on the River Lee in Cork. There's a lovely walk from town to it. It's just a special venue. It's an amazing atmosphere. But actually, you can tell, Cara, we're playing in Wicklow next weekend as well at a festival called
All that,
Kaleidoscope.
yeah,
Yeah, that'll be fun. That's meant to be a great festival as well. It's like a family
yeah,
festival thing that we've never played before. But if you had to push me on my absolute favorite venue in Ireland, it's got to be the Olympia Theatre in Dublin. We play there
yeah.
every Christmas. We've been lucky enough to just become, it's taken on over the years. We played one night, then we played two nights, and last year we did 5 nights in this
Wow.
beautiful theatre right in the middle of Dublin. And we've done it every Christmas, so hopefully we'll be back again this Christmas. But yeah, so that's definitely up there. Again, it's a big old theater, but the seats go right up, and you really feel like the people are on top of you. You can see everyone's, even though it's a 2,000 capacity venue, it feels like the crowd are right there. And so yeah, we're hoping to do a few more nights there this Christmas. That's an exclusive for you. We haven't announced the dates yet, but
Like no
it'll
one
be
was
coming soon.
expecting you to announce it anyway.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
All right, so you're coming back to Australia, November
Yes.
21st, 22nd, 23rd, Melbourne, Sydney, Perth. It is thecoronas.net for all the ticketing information, dates, and all that jazz. Is it an annual event now, or is it you? I think I missed you last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, no,
Sort
it's
of you come
annual.
down
Yeah.
every year now, right?
Yeah, once a year. We're very lucky that we have that in the calendar. And it's a perfect time in here. I think I might have been telling you the last time we chatted, like going away in November is just so good for my soul to get some sun and get away from dark, damp Ireland. And so it's a perfect time to tour. And yeah, we've been growing every year in Oz. The crowd's been just getting a little bit better. Obviously, as there's a lot of expats in Australia, but also we're getting more Aussies down to the shows as well. And it's really fun. And yeah, last show in Perth, I love that city so much. I was telling you the last time, I don't say this to everyone I'm talking to, but Perth is my favorite city in Oz. And it's always nice to end our little run there and yeah, and have a day or two after just to chill out and enjoy the nice weather before we go back. And but then, as I say, we go back and it's Christmas because it's the end of November. So it's such a good time to go away. By the time we're back at home, it's yeah, we're getting into that Christmas spirit, so it's all good. Yeah, can't wait to be back in Oz and be back in Perth.
I think last year I missed you. I was on dad duty last year, so I couldn't come.
Oh,
But
nice.
when we chatted before, you very graciously invited me onto the guest list and said, come and say
Yeah.
hello. And I didn't turn up, right? And I'll tell you why. This is a bit of irony. The reason I didn't come to your
Right.
gig is I had COVID. Coronavirus
No
stopped
way.
me getting to the
Yeah.
Coronas gig. I was gutted.
Uh,
Genuine, 100% true. I was like, I can't believe it.
well,
Yeah,
listen,
Devo, mate.
well, we can extend the invite. You're more than welcome to come in November, of course. So just yeah, give our people a
Magic.
message who you've been
Will do,
talking to,
mate.
and
Yeah,
we'll
will
sort it
do.
out. Yeah, and you're more than welcome. It'd be good to see you, man. It's
Yeah,
it's a
no,
cool
definitely,
venue
mate.
there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
you're more
Magnet
than
House
welcome.
is a cracking venue as well. That's a
Yeah,
really good one. You'll
yeah,
like that
it's
one for
nice.
sure.
Yeah, we played it last year. Actually, it was
Yeah, that's it.
fantastic. It
Yeah,
was
you
really
did, didn't
cool.
you? That's right. Yeah, yeah. Because
Yeah,
Badlands is no more. You played Badlands, didn't you, the year
that's right.
before? That's
Yeah,
closed up now. That's not a venue anymore.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
heard that.
I
Yeah.
didn't come to the gig, but I was there a couple of weeks after, or maybe about a month after. There was a Perth band played 3 nights there, a big Perth band called Carnival, and I
Cool.
was there for the last night, and it was the last ever show, and there was still a poster for your show up on the wall. So I'm like, lovely,
Nice.
thanks very much. I'm having that. Rolled that one up. That went
Nice.
up the sleeve of the shirt. Thank
Brilliant.
you, lovely. That's on my wall up
Nice.
there now. Yeah.
No way, that's cool. Yeah, they told us actually when we played in Badlands that we were one of the last bands. Yeah, so that's
Yeah,
right. But
yeah, yeah,
yeah, Magnet House is a cool venue too. So as I say, we're really looking
yeah,
forward
yeah,
to it.
yeah. No, excellent, mate. Excellent. We're looking forward to seeing you down there for sure.
You're listening to The Mixtape.
All right, before we get into the mixtape, I've got a new section I'm trying out. I've got some quick fire questions. I've got 10,
Sure.
but I've whittled it down to 5 or 6. Not one word answers, but like quick fire answers, quick ones.
Okay.
What was the first album you ever bought?
Oh, it was the Cranberries. No Need to Argue. Yeah, great
It's a good
Irish
one, that.
band. Dolores
Great
O'Riordan. Yeah,
one.
Dolores O'Riordan
Great one.
screaming
Yeah,
over some rock chords. I loved it.
yeah, yeah. Fantastic one. Great one. Who would play you in a movie about your life?
Oh, wow. I don't know. I'm trying to think who has the beard and the long hair. Maybe Keanu Reeves.
Oh, that's a good
Yeah,
shout, mate. Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. Yeah, for sure, mate. For sure. Good one. What is the weirdest thing on your tour rider?
Probably like we have it's not that weird really. We have like hydration, like Baraka tablets, they're
Oh
so
yeah,
key.
yeah,
The electrolytes or whatever, I'm always
yeah,
asking for
yeah,
them to be on the rider because
yeah,
when you're touring, it's
yeah,
just the first thing you do when you get into the dressing room is I want some water, but I need to up this water with some electrolytes and hydration and
yeah,
vitamins and stuff
yeah.
like that. But that's not very rock and roll, is it? Let me think of something better. Our tour manager is gluten intolerant. What's it called? A celiac.
Yeah,
So
yeah, see that.
everywhere we
Yeah,
go,
lovely.
even when it's small venues, like there's always has to be a few gluten-free beers. And I can see some of the local promoters and like venue promoters who are coming in going, God, I couldn't find these celiac beers anywhere. And they're like really annoyed at us. And I'm like, it's not the band. I promise we're not divas. That's our tour
Yeah,
manager. That's nothing to do with us. And he's adding that himself. But
yeah,
yeah, we got to have some gluten-free food up for him. But yeah,
fair
listen,
play.
we're pretty laid back when it comes to Ryder. Sorry, it's a quick fire question and I'm doing a long
That's all right,
answer
mate. It's
sauce
all
right
right. You've
now.
given me the nod to go over time, mate. So that's it. That's happening
That's
now. That's
fine.
what we're
That's
doing.
fine.
At
Yeah.
least you haven't picked no national songs this time, so we ain't got to have that 10-minute froth as well. That's out the window. We're not going to do that again.
Nice.
Do you
Nice.
have a pre-show ritual?
We tend to just have a little. I start doing a vocal warm up 15 minutes before I go on
Mm.
stage, and mainly my just to get me in the mindset. It's only a 5 minute thing on YouTube. It's not even really about warming up my voice. It's more just about getting me in the headspace. Okay, it's gig time. It's go time. Get our inners in, and then this side of the stage we might have a little hug, but there's no big ritual. Like we used to have a shot of whiskey before every gig, but you can't do that every time now. Like we gig so often that
Yeah,
we don't even do that. Before a big show or maybe the end of tour, the last show of a tour, we might have a shot of whiskey, but no big things. Our drummer will be just warming up. We all just do our own little things and then we have a little hug and go out.
fantastic. Speaking about shots of whiskey, that's a great segue into the last question. What is the most rock star thing you've ever done?
Oh, wow. There's we're not very rock and roll, but I'll give you an example of an embarrassing thing that's not
Yeah,
rock
go
and
on. Yeah,
roll, where someone handed me a shot on stage and I thought, oh, I'll be cool, I'll drink this. But it was just like a little bit bigger. It was like a double, I'd say, and it was bigger than I thought. And I tried to down it and it's got caught in my throat like a bit. And I just spat it back out over the front row by accident. And like I could see people in the front row being like, oh God, he's just spat a full double whiskey all over the front row. And I was like very embarrassed. I just started the next song straight away. So that was me trying to be rock and roll, but failing miserably.
yeah.
Yeah, that's as high as it goes.
Cracking answers, mate. Cracking answers.
You're listening to The Mixtape.
The Mixtape is brought to you in association with Giglist. Giglist is your one-stop shop for all your live events. If you're looking to get out and experience some live music, you can filter by artist, venue, suburb or date. If you are an artist, it will take you less than a minute to list your gig for free on the website. The Mixtape brought to you in association with Giglist. Gigs in a list. All right. Mixtape B-side tracks. As I said at the start, you've been on as a guest before, picked your
Yeah,
A-side tracks. So let's do the B-side tracks. Now, I think you're only
sure.
the second or third person who's done these. It's quite a new
Cool.
thing. So
Nice.
track one of your mixtape is, what was the first song you learned to play or sing?
Yeah, it was Oasis, Champagne Supernova. Very simple chords. Like I remember my brother, myself and my brother were doing guitar lessons, and he could play this, and I was like, "Oh my God, show me how to play it!" And as soon as I could stretch my pinky up to the second chord, I was like, "I'm away." And it's such a great song as well. And it's funny enough now, at all these years later, if we have a sing song in our family, like my brother will play that song. And
Fantastic.
it's even
Yeah.
though it was the first song we ever learned, and it's I suppose he didn't keep up with the music as much as me, but yeah, it's a great song. And actually, I got tickets to see Oasis. They're back touring this
Mm.
summer. We're going to go. Actually, all the band are going to go in August to see them here in Crow Park, which is the last run of their little European tour.
Yeah,
Did they
yeah.
add some Australia dates as well? I saw.
Yeah,
Not
they done
yet.
that thing. They done that thing. Eastern states only. Melbourne and Sydney. I think 2 nights in each. I
Okay.
think they're doing, and that's it. And I
Okay.
think even the second Melbourne date didn't sell out for a while. I don't,
Really? Yeah.
maybe not sold
Well,
out. Yeah, but I was at Nebworth,
hey, cool.
so yeah, I'm like, I'm one of them. I'm just like, where there it is. Look, I was talking to someone about it the other day. There you go,
Nice.
Nebworth
Deadly. That's
Park.
amazing. Wow,
20
look at that
quid.
old school ticket. I love it. Yeah, I love
20
it.
quid I paid for that.
Love
That was awesome.
I
Best live music day of
love
my
the
life.
Oh man, what a day. I've seen the video. I've never been there, but I have seen Oasis a lot, but that's cool. So yeah, hopefully they
Yeah.
sound good and they're in good form, and it'll be an experience to see them back
Oh, I'm
together
sure
again.
they will.
And
I'm
hopefully
sure
they
they will.
play
Yeah.
Champion Supernova.
I think there's all sorts of set lists being leaked, but they're
Yeah.
going to, aren't they? Because it's they're
Yeah,
one of
they
their
gotta.
favourites, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
All right, second track of your mixtape, Danny. What is a song you would put on for a road trip?
Oh yeah, I had LCD Sound System, All My Friends, which is such a great song. I love like the choppy piano, and it's just like when I get in the car, especially on a sunny day, if I'm going somewhere, like it's just such a good tune. It's like it gets me pumped up. Where are
Mm.
your friends tonight? It really gets going, and it just builds up. It's one of those songs that doesn't have any breakdowns or quiet bits. It just keeps going. I love that song so much. It's honestly, it's up there. If I had to pick like a playlist of my top 20 songs of all time, I'd probably have that on there. But it's a great one for a car on a sunny day for sure.
Yeah, it's a good one for the treadmill. Was that? It's just got that driving,
Yeah,
repetitive like beat. Yeah, it's a really
exactly.
good one for that. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
Okay, track three of your mixtape, Danny. What is your favourite duet or collaboration?
Yes, I went for Peter Gabriel and Kate Bush, Don't Give Up, which I just think is such a beautiful, simple sounding. It's just a lovely duet that's very tasteful, and it's not like Barbara Streisand and Chris Christopherson Islands in the Stream vibe. It's quite subtle, and they both have their parts, and it just sounds beautiful. And two artists that I really like as well, and I love that Peter Gabriel album that it's on. So
Mm, yeah,
it's got some really nice songs on it. So yeah, that was the one that came to mind straight away when I saw a duet. And actually, for a later question, which you'll probably ask now in a sec, but when I was writing the new Coronas album and a song called "That's Exactly What Love Is," which is it's an answer
mm,
to your question later, I had that song in mind. It was I wanted that mood of how that duet works, as opposed to I suppose a typical duet. But yeah,
yeah.
anyway, that's a great song. I love that one.
Fantastic video that as well, where they're just
Yeah,
standing together,
exactly.
just like dancing. That's a great video. It's so powerful.
Yeah,
Really love that. It's
powerful.
one of my
Exactly.
favourite
Yeah.
songs of all time. That, yeah. I'm pretty
Oh
sure
well.
once I get the road with these B-side tracks, that track is going to come up a lot, a lot,
Yeah,
because it is
yeah.
one of
For
the
people,
all-time
I'd
great
say so.
collaborations for sure.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, what's your favourite track from a live album, Danny?
Oh yeah, so there's this Irish band, one of my favorite bands of all time, called The Frames, whose lead singer is Glenn Hansard, who you guys might know from Swell Season and his solo
Yeah.
stuff. Glenn is such a
Mm,
legend, and he won an Oscar for once. And but his original band, The Frames, are a big influence on us, and they have this live album, live from Vicar Street, which is a venue just down the road from me here in Dublin, and it's called Setlist. And there's a version on that of Star Star, one of their really good songs. And it's a really magical live album. You can really sense it's not just them playing the songs. You know, you can sense the crowd interaction. There's just a little bit of magic in the air. They go off Like even in this star, in the middle section, they go off and do a little bit of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, come with me and you'll be in a world of your imagination. And it's just there's all these lovely little things going on. And the crowd are shouting up things at Glenn and he's responding to them. But yet it still sounds amazing when they play. And that song is one of my favorite Frame songs. So again, as soon as you said a live album, that was the one that stuck to me.
I meant to grab it before we started recording because I've got that on CD, and I meant to grab it and show you and just go, look at me, what a smart ass. I've seen the Swell Season have got a new record out at the moment as well.
They do, yeah. And Glenn is such a nice guy. I've been lucky enough to meet him a couple of times. Now, he's not one for mobile phones or laptops or anything or emails or anything, so he's probably hard to get in contact with. But if you could get him on, or if you met him, if ever you bumped into him in person and you told him about the podcast, he'd be like, I'll do that. That sounds good.
Yeah.
He's the type of guy that he doesn't really... Yeah, he's old school, but he's so lovely. Love that guy.
I might have to stalk him if he comes to Perth for a live show, find out where he's staying and just stalk his hotel or something.
A friend of mine actually did that to him. So yeah, Glenn was playing the Shepherd's Bush, and a friend of mine who's a busker went outside and just waited all day. And then Glenn walked out, and Glenn was like, he said to him, Glenn, can I play one of my songs? Glenn was like, absolutely. Stopped there and sat there and listened to my mate's song. And my mate got it recorded by someone else. He's like, I got to play my song for Glenn Hansard and put it on social media or whatever. So yeah, he'd be open to things like that, I'd say, if you did stalk them.
Yeah, no, for sure. Oh, fantastic. That's good to know. Good to know. That opening scene to Once, where the camera like slowly comes across the road, that is just... Yeah. And what a song as well that
powerful,
is. Say it to me now. It's incredible.
Yeah,
so good. Okay, Danny, what is your favourite Coronas song?
At the moment, as I say, I'm always a bit more biased towards the newer songs, but there's a duet on our new album called That's Exactly What Love Is, a duet we did with Gabrielle Aplin, an amazing singer-songwriter, and she's brilliant. And again, as I was saying earlier on, I wrote that with the sort of Peter Gabriel, Kate Bush vibe in mind. And it's just a fun song to play live now. We've extended the outro and getting a bit of rocky towards the end, and it's going down really well. It's always good when a new song goes down. And also for me, it was a different lyrically, it was different in that I wrote both sides of the story, and I wrote the female part, and it was just different. I took myself out of myself and wrote from someone else's perspective, and that was, I think, interesting and cathartic, and something that I might try and do again. But it's a fun one at the moment, and it's probably my favorite one right now. Yeah.
No, great track, mate. It's one I played on the show a fair few times in the interim period since I spoke to you last.
Great.
Okay, this is the tough one, the big question, the deep one. Sum up Danny O'Reilly in one song.
Yeah, this was tough. I had to do a bit of thinking for this one. I decided to go with the Beatles in my life. I just thought, if I'm going to pick a song that, first of all, it's so hard to sum up yourself, like in general, never mind in a song and that's someone else's song. I went for it in my life. It's just such a beautiful lyric, and it has that sort of reminiscing about past loves and about how happy you are and you've arrived somewhere. And it's just, it's just lovely. It's the Beatles. It's amazing, and it's honestly such a lovely lyric and a lovely song. I thought it just came to mind, and I was like,
great choice, mate. Great choice. Thank you. Absolutely fantastic choice. All right, as I said at the top of the show, the Coronas coming to Australia, playing Perth Magnet House in November. The Coronas.net is your one-stop shop for tickets, information, merch, records, all that other good stuff. Danny, as always, it has been an absolute pleasure chatting to you again, mate. Really looking forward to catching you in November. I will definitely be there this time, 100%. So I'll come and find you. I'll catch you. We'll say hello, and
definitely,
I'll see you there, mate.
Definitely hang around. Yeah, we'll have a beer, man. Yeah, it'd be great to see you. Thanks so much. Cheers. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate it, and congrats on the show. I know it's going great for you.
Thank you,
well
mate.
done.
Cheers.
We'll
good luck at Glastonbury, mate. Have a good one.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Cheers, mate. See you, Danny. Bye, mate. Thank you so much for listening to the Mixtape Podcast. If you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to go to the top of the page and rate it 5 stars, or give us a like or follow on social media at the Mixtape Podcast and Radio Show. Don't forget, there's over 100 archive episodes just waiting to be discovered. And all you need to do is visit themixtapepodcast.com. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time.